Around the world with MS World, I'm Dr. Daniel Kantor here at ACTRIMS 2018. When we're at these conferences, we hear a lot of great science, but we still have to think about very practical issues that are happening to our patients sitting back home. We're here on the West Coast, but we have patients over on the East Coast. So I'm here with Dr. Keith Edwards, who's director of the MS Center of Northeastern New York. And you're in the Albany area. Your patients know that you're away at a conference, but they still have regular issues going on. One of those big issues is that to get an infusible medicine, we need to mix it with something. And we mix it with salt water, with saline. So that might seem like a simple thing for people back home, but many people may not know that the hurricanes devastated the factories in Puerto Rico. And because of that, there is a national shortage of saline. In fact, we're just days away from doctors running out of saline to be able to mix them. We're scrambling, trying to find those bags, those valuable bags of salt water so that people can get their medicines. What is going on with that?
It's hard to believe. It's been many months since the hurricane took out the factories that make it. The entire country is short. Hospitals are hoarding saline, but we need the saline to dilute and mix up the medications that are very important for MS patients. And literally in 1 week we'll be completely out. And we've known this was coming for months. We can't import from other countries. There are regulations. This is difficult to understand. But in any case, it's here, and it's a real practical issue.
I'll tell you, what we're trying to do with the Medical Partnership for MS and with the Precision Innovative Network is figure out a 50-state solution. So far, we have a 4-state solution. We've found some saline, but if the United States government doesn't do something about getting the factory back up, then we're going to have a major problem even in those 4 states. So we're working to try to figure out a solution. One solution is actually for the Food and Drug Administration to allow importation of saline bags from our friends, right? The government right now is really into the idea of who are our friends and who are not our friends. If we could import from Canada, if we could import from the UK, so from England, then we have a solution. We're not talking about importing from countries that people haven't heard of on the map. We're talking about importing saline, the water that we use to mix the medicine, from countries that are first world countries.
2 months ago we started on this track. There are good hospitals in Canada, UK, Ireland. We can't, there are regulations either on their side or our side that prohibit that.
Another solution, if the government doesn't step up and do this, is for us actually to work with the sterile compounding pharmacies. In the past several years, sterile compounding pharmacies have had a pretty bad rap. I mean, there were those people who were dying from medicines that were contaminated from not that far from where you are, but from Massachusetts, and it was happening all over the country. It's time for compounding pharmacies to step up and say, listen, they can actually make these bags of saline. It will be more expensive because they have to buy the bags, they have to buy all the devices. It's making it by hand as opposed to making a factory. But that's one other solution that we may have to go to. It'd be better if we just had it with the factory. And actually, my understanding is the factory's been repaired in Puerto Rico. And we're waiting on the Food and Drug Administration to give the green light to say that they can start manufacturing and start to be approved back again in the United States. That's a major issue. It's an issue that means that people will actually not have access to medicines in the next several weeks if we don't do something to fix it.
Or maybe more than a few weeks. Yeah, this is an avoidable situation. We knew it was coming for months, and the fact that we don't have a solution now, I do not have the answer.
Well, we're going to keep on working on it, and we're going to keep on updating you, and we're going to keep on updating you at home. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.